Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping right into the world of global energy markets. It's pretty dynamic right now.
It really is. Lots going on.
Yeah, so specifically we want to look at oil prices, what they're doing or maybe not doing, and the huge anticipation around the critical upcoming event.
Mm.
Our source today is a brand new Reuters article, just out July 2nd, 2025. It's titled Oil Prices and OPEC's Future Meeting.
A very timely piece.
Exactly. So our mission for you listening is to quickly cut through the noise, get a handle on the immediate market situation, and understand why everyone seems to be holding their breath.
Okay.
Okay, let's unpack this. What's the immediate headline? What's the first thing we need to know about oil prices from this report?
Well, what's really interesting, actually, is the article flat out says oil prices are little changed.
Little change. So
Yeah.
quiet, stable.
You'd think so,
Right.
right? But no, it's more complex. The article immediately follows that by saying investors are keenly, and this is their word, looking ahead
Okay. Looking ahead to what?
to the upcoming meeting of OPEC. That's the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and their allies. OPEC plus on that.
OPEC plus off. The big players. They control a huge chunk of global oil supply.
Precisely. So their decisions, they can really move the needle globally. So
Yeah.
little changed isn't boredom, it's anticipation.
Got it. So this calm, it's not indifference. It's like the market is just paused, waiting for the next big move.
That's a good way to put it, a collective pause.
Does the Reuters piece give us any hints about why this specific OPEC Plus meeting feels so, significant right now? What are they actually wrestling with?
It does. The report stresses this isn't just about, like, minor weekly adjustments.
Okay.
The market seems to be betting that OPEC Plus could seriously shift the price direction for, the whole next quarter.
Yeah.
Maybe even override the usual supply and demand stuff for a bit.
Wow, okay. So what factors are they weighing up then?
Well, it's that classic balancing act, isn't it? They need stable oil revenues for their member countries, obviously. But they're also looking at the pretty delicate state of the global economic recovery.
Right, don't want to derail that.
Exactly. And the article specifically mentions sort of mixed signals on demand, especially from key places like China. That's apparently a big part of their talks around production quotas.
A high-stakes calculation, definitely. It sounds really tricky.
It is very high stakes.
So, given all that, does Reuters give us any idea of the range of things that could happen? What could OPEC Plus actually do? And, what would that mean for prices straight away?
Yeah, that's the big question everyone's asking. The report lays out a couple of main scenarios.
Okay.
On one side, there's pressure, maybe considerable pressure, to keep the existing production cuts in place, or maybe even deepen them if global demand looks like it's softening more than expected.
And that would mean prices go up.
Swiftly, most likely, yes. But then, on the other hand...
There's always another hand, right?
Yes?
Yeah.
Some members might push for a more cautious approach, maybe gradually increase supply a bit.
Why would they do that?
Well, perhaps to avoid losing too much market share to producers outside the OPEC Plus group. That's always a concern.
Right. Competition. And that would...
That could put downward pressure on prices. So the article frames it as a real tightrope walk. Get the revenue they need, but don't choke off the global economy.
Yeah.
The final decision is really going to set the tone for volatility in the near term, no doubt about it.
It really is like watching economics play out in real time. This whole idea that what people expect to happen can sometimes be, more powerful than what's actually happening right now.
That's a key point.
Yeah.
It really highlights the power of collective anticipation in financial markets.
So thinking beyond just the immediate price moves, what does this whole waiting game tell us about how energy markets work psychologically? And how does that ripple out to, say, the wider economy or even just us?
Well, it shows just how much weight the market puts on signals and guidance from major players. Reuters makes it clear. OPEC Plus is kind of the main character in this particular story right now.
Right. Everyone's watching them.
Exactly. And that intense focus, that anticipation, it can actually, for a while at least, make the market move almost independently of the immediate supply and demand facts on the ground.
Interesting.
And for you listening, even if you don't follow oil prices day to day, these decisions matter. They can filter down into, almost everything.
Like what?
Shipping costs for goods, the price of the pump, obviously, even the health of whole industries that depend heavily on energy. It just reminds you how interconnected everything is.
So we started with oil prices are little changed, but what that really means is this collective holding of breath. the whole energy world, and maybe the global economy too, just waiting for OPEC plus decision.
Precisely.
This little changed status, combined with investors intensely looking ahead, it really signals that a potentially huge shift could be just around the corner, affecting you, global stability, the whole energy sector.
And that brings up a really interesting point for you to think about.
Yeah.
How much of what happens in the markets is driven by the actual events themselves versus just the sheer weight of all that expectation, all that anticipation building up?
The power of expectation.
It's a huge factor in economic psychology. You see it constantly.
Yeah.
Definitely something to reflect on as we all wait to see what OPEC Plus decides.